बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. We have Mr. Shiri Shivraj and we have Mr. Karthik on this call. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai is presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you to the new business opportunity every day at 12 o'clock. In 2024, we continue to introduce you to new brands and new business opportunities. Today, we are going to introduce you to a fitness brand. But before I introduce you about the brand, let me just run you through the Q&A process. If you have any questions during the webinar, please type your questions in the Q&A box. We'll take up all your questions post brand presentations. While we run you through the presentations and the brand details, request you to keep sharing your queries into the Q&A box to make this session more interactive. Our today's brand is Fitkits. India's fitness and health industry is projected to exhibit a growth rate of 11.6% CAGR during 2024 to 27 and expected to reach $32 billion by 2027. Fitkits is looking to reach out to larger audiences by opening stores through franchising at locations with high footfalls. We have Mr. Srihari Shivraj from Fitkits, who is a young, high-flying entrepreneur. Along with me, we have Mr. Karthik as our panelist. Now I invite Mr. Shivraj to share his insights about the brand.
All right. Is my audio audible? Sandeep,
yes,
am I clear? Okay. First of all, thank you guys. We're really excited to partner with Franchise India to take our brand Pan India, starting with Chennai as our first opportunity for franchises in India itself. Just to give everybody a little bit of context before we get into the technicalities of the business, just a small story I would like to share with all of our participants. So I did my engineering in College of Engineering, Gindi, Anna University. So I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. A lot of the times I get asked, how did you end up starting a gym? To be honest, that is something that happened very naturally for me because I was been a sportsman since I was a child, playing for the district, state, eventually for Anna University. I was 3 years basketball captain. So I've been playing sport from a very young age and exposed to the gymnasium at a very young age. So it became something of a natural stream of work for me. I've always viewed myself as an entrepreneur and not as a fitness coach. One very, very important advice that I got when I was a child, I'm not sure all of you Pan India might know PSG group of companies or PSG Tech as a college. So one of the founders of the college was a very close a family friend of ours named Mr. Naren Rajan, who studied in Michigan State University and then came back to Coimbatore to start his construction business. So at that time, a lot of his cousins were into textiles, big manufacturing, and he looked at the landscape of India, landscape of Coimbatore particularly, and said, what do people need 15, 20 years from now? And he looked at housing, and that's how he got into construction. So once, when I was a very small kid, I think I'm in fifth or sixth standard, I was having a conversation with him, and he told me, Hari, whatever you choose to do in life, see what India needs, look into the future, and see what is it that we actually require, and then try to form a solution for that. And I think that word really stayed along with me till this date. And I feel that was the seed to starting Fitkits. So when I finished my engineering, I looked at the landscape and I looked at what India required 10, 15 years from now. It's been 10 years since I started my company, and I really believe in the idea of health and fitness because when I looked at India 10 years back, especially Chennai, I saw what was happening with people. I think I was fortunate to see the transition from analog to digital world, how much we're eating inside the house and how much we're eating outside the house. I think when I was in college, Swiggy was slowly introduced into our lifestyle. I looked at the now amount of time people were spending in a playground. I remember when I was a kid in the summers, we would just play out as much as possible, whether it's hide and seek or riding a cycle or just being on the road a lot of the times, playing in the apartment, or if it was an individual house, playing cricket. It was very common for us to play outside the house from evening, maybe like 4:30 to maybe 6:30, 8 o'clock. But as I looked, people were spending lesser and lesser time on their health in various aspects. We can say there's definitely technology has improved our life in many aspects. It has definitely propelled humanity in many aspects. But when it comes to diseases, and I mean lifestyle diseases, it has really pushed the modern human on the back foot. The more over the last 10 years, I've seen definitely from a very close hand, from what I started to now, the impact of mental health and depression in adults, especially men. So I see so many men stuck and they're just like moving like a robo and they feel stuck in the place that they are. I see so many women and children finding it very hard to navigate through their daily life. All right. And we live in a society where we feel the peer pressure, not just in school, but in every aspect of our life. You see so many people on Instagram running on their holidays, eating amazing food. We don't really realize it is just one person doing it one time in the year. Since we're continuously bombarded with a lifestyle which we cannot obviously aspire or live like that every day, the cases for mental depression over the last 10 years has actually increased. And if you look at the number of meals people are eating at home, it has drastically decreased. If you see the influence of substance abuse, whether it could be cigarettes, it could be alcohol, it could be so many other things, it has actually increased in our society. And the amount of physical activity someone has, maybe screen time a day, people would not even consider that. They would be in denial if I told somebody you're spending 3 hours minimum in front of your screen, that is apart from your work, they will automatically start to defend it. If you ask somebody, why don't you come to the gym? They will tell you, I have no time. So if you look at the need of the hour, I think I was right in starting a wellness space with a gym and a lifestyle clinic 10 years back. I think my vision for India has been justified in terms of I think a gym is the need of the hour. Unfortunately, in India, when we say gym, people immediately think of bodybuilding and maybe Salman Khan. That's not our vision. A gymnasium is a place where you go to get the type of physical activity and the mental stimulation you need. You can take as many researches that you want. It is undeniable. Exercise has a direct relationship to your mental health. It regulates your body, whether you call it yoga, whether you call it strength training, whether you call it Zumba. It does not matter what type of physical activity you choose to do. Your mind, your body, both contribute to the wellness of your soul. When I say soul, it means there is something apart from our physical activity nobody can deny. which is always feels stressed out. So that is what we're trying to calm down through our business. So I definitely think we have proved over the last 10 years that FitKids is a sustainable business model. And I will compare it to other businesses in India as well. But one of the things that I did with FitKids from day one, I never said the way I train is the way everyone should train. We must understand there needs to be the, you can see the pitch deck slowly as we go through. There are multiple ways for a person to get fit because we are all not athletes, right? So for a general person, he needs to be entertained. The mind needs to be engaged. If you look at an advertisement from 10 years back to now, people probably scroll through it on their Instagram for maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds and they move forward. So keeping people entertained has become very, very tough. So when I started FitKids 10 years back, I just had an empty gym floor and people would walk into my gym and they would say, Hari, what is this? There's nothing over here. So I used to explain to people first, when all children are born, you need to understand that every child is born with the capability of movement, and your growth hormones is what makes you stronger over a period of till you're 21, 22, 23. After which, if you don't train for strength, automatically you lose the capability to move. So, going with what I saw, that people are getting less and less active, we started a gym and a healthy kitchen, which first helps you retain your movement through strength training and eating the right type of food in order to fuel your daily life. Right? If, say, for example, someone eats sugar in the beginning of the day, obviously they're going to have energy spikes and energy dips. So over the last 10 years, we're one of the very few gyms that has been able to educate the customer having a high retainership rate. I always tell people, think about ABCD. There are only 26 alphabets in the language of English, but there might be infinity number of words in the dictionary. But these 26 alphabets is what allows you to make words, sentences, and communicate. In the same way, there are only four workouts on the planet and three types of food groups: proteins, fats, and carbs. So, managing your food and your workout automatically puts your mind into a better space. And we are one of the very few gyms that also offer mental counseling. Most of the times, if you look at our work at the gym, it would be motivating people, or another word for that is performance coaching. It's nothing but psychology. If you're able to get through the student, understand where their pain points are, and that's one of the things we did with FitKids. All of our classes are completely customized to the students, along with giving them various class variety. So what happens is different people come into the gym with different expectations. Right? Someone will say, I want to reduce fat from my belly. Some will say, I want from my back. Without dismissing it, we always tell them it's possible, but also tell them the overall science. So if you ask me what is the USP of FitKits, it is the education that we give. Secondly, just like a good food recipe, it's the programming of the workouts. Everybody knows what to do, what not to do. The right sequence is important, just like coding in a computer. So, what we do in terms of a program, first we understand what is the goal of such a student, right? Does he have injuries? What is their lifestyle? What is their timing? A lot of the times when someone goes to the gym, they're paying a separate membership for the gym entrance and a separate membership for the coaching. So, when 10 years back, when I looked at India and I said, okay, where are people failing? Most of the complaints, you could take an office building of 300 people and ask them how many of them have paid for a gym membership. Say 150 of them lift their hands up. They will tell you 100 of them that have paid for a 1 year membership and have never gone to the gym. Of course, they've never gone to the gym because once they walk in, they realize nobody is guiding them. So that's why all of the classes of FitKids are guided classes. So I'm giving you a breakdown why we have structured our business in a particular way. So in FitKids, it's more like a school. It doesn't have a separate gym membership for entry for you to enter the gym and a separate membership for the coach to guide you. And if you actually look at the amount somebody is spending at FitKids versus a very nominal gym, and they would charge you for a personal training, it would be probably half of that. But if you look at the initial cost, it is definitely higher than most of the lower end gyms that you would see in Pan India. That is, I'm talking about with respect to the entry fees. Second is coming to the expertise of the coaches. Since I've been training over almost 25 years, I would say from the time I know, though it has India does not have a structured program. Being in training for so long, we've been able to train our coaches in a particular way through our modules that I have developed over the last 10 years that ensures one, people don't get injured and people are getting only the right type of workout for them. People might come and tell, I want to, essentially, 9 of our 10 students, we must understand, are coming for fat loss. Nobody comes into the gym to actually look like a celebrity. Though that's what they see in magazines, what they come out of desperation who says, I want to lose weight. So we never use this desperation to misguide them. We try to explain to them this is the process. And my wife is a doctor. Her name is Dr. Sagrika, right? She's done UG, PG, and now doing her doctorate. So she's a doctor and she's doing a doctorate. She's a lifestyle nutritionist specialist. So she will handhold the team in explaining to the team what to say to the customer and what not to say to the customer. And we also come from a long line of healthcare because we also have our own hospital. So my mom is a doctor, my sister is also a doctor. So we always communicate the right thing to our staff members. Our coaches are not allowed to talk nutrition, our nutritionists are not allowed to talk working out, and our general staff are not allowed to talk about workout or nutrition and mental health. We take mental health very, very seriously at the gym. That's what explains our high retainership rate. Believe me, a student should be able to call you or leave a text to you saying, Hari, I'm not feeling all right. This is what has happened. Can you help me? That's where the gym succeeds. Most gyms fail because they take the 1 year membership and then next year, when the membership comes back, they call them. That's not what we do. We really put a lot of hard work in keeping our attendance high. Our staff are highly trained. I'm saying the admin staff are highly trained to listen. If I tell my staff to make a phone call, they will minimum be on the phone call for 15 to 20 minutes, trying to just listen the person out. We don't give any advice at that point. Just listening to our customer for 15-20 minutes, and we have 3 to 4 people who do at least 150 phone calls a day in order to keep the attendance high. Just speaking to them, they will have so much to talk about. At the end of it, we will tell them, ma'am, just come here for 30 minutes. You don't even have to do a full class. And that will reset their system into eating correctly, sleeping correctly, and working out correctly. And this has been the philosophy over the last 10 years. And a lot of people ask me, Hari, why have you not expanded over the last 10 years? I feel also, however good we are, however good our product is, the time for that product also has to come. And I think the time for fitness has come in India because India is the largest population for lifestyle diseases in the world. It could be diabetes, heart disease, obesity. There are so many lifestyle conditions Indians are suffering with, and the growth for a gym is going to be exponential from now on. And from our side, we have definitely put everything as a process. Initially, I used to get a lot of questions saying, Hari, if you were not there, how would the gym work? So each and everything over the last 10 years has been systemized, strategized. So any franchise owner who's going to be taking up the gym, they have a very clear mandate and a strategy for them to succeed at that location, right? All the franchise owner has to do from their perspective is to be motivated in order to communicate well with the customer and have somebody on the ground just hearing them out and ensuring the customer acquisition happens over the course of their franchise association with us. If you can go to the pitch deck, I will take everyone through the pitch deck and justify why it's the right time to invest with Fitkits over the next 5 to 10 years. So, like I said, I can confidently say, and anyone can do their research, we were actually the first functional strength training gym in India, in Chennai, started in 2015. Even the cults had to shut during COVID and restart a couple of years back. Most of the cults also had to shut down, and now they're also moving into a franchise idea. They had also posted a loss of 600 crores, I think, 2 years back. If you compare our quality to a cult, which I would say is a very apt comparison in terms of what they offer and what we offer. I think in terms of quality, we're way higher than a cult. And definitely in terms of pricing, I would not say we are competing for a volume model. We're competing more of a quality model. So we will be maybe 2 times more expensive than a cult. So coming to innovation first, innovation is, like I said, it is very important because what we used to be able to do 10 years back is not, the customer might not react to it now because they're completely being bombarded by it over a longer period of time. Maybe 20 years back it was aerobics, 10 years back it could be yoga, now it could be strength training. But what we do is, because we understand the fundamentals of training, we can superimpose any trend on top of that layer, because movement as strength is something that is God given, right? And trends are going to keep on coming. Like a cotton cloth is not going to change. The styles might change over a period of time from our great grandparents to our kids and our grandkids. But the cotton fabric cannot change. The silk fabric cannot change. So, in the same way, strength and movement cannot change, right? Unless the anatomy of the body changes. So, because of my deep understanding of the subject, I can superimpose any trendy layer on top of that. A trend is nothing but a style, right? Any style can be incorporated on top of a foundational knowledge. So for us to innovate now, today, and tomorrow, we are future proof. So if any of our partners ask me, Hari, what are you going to do? This is the answer to that. Now, coming to personalization, just like if we're sitting around a dining table as a family, maybe the father is wearing shirt and pant, the mother is wearing a kurta, the kids are wearing their uniform. Obviously, everyone's clothing and attire are very different from each other, though they live in the same house. So if the son is studying in seventh standard, maybe the girl is in 12th standard, the mother is a homemaker, and the father is in IT who has a sedentary job. The way I would probably approach training them and feeding them and approaching their mental health will be completely different. The seven in Fitkits, we have classes for kids from 3.5 years. So if I'm a child, what to do for them, for a teenager, what to do for them, for somebody who's in front of the computer for 14 hours, 15 hours, how to make them understand to put in at least 30 minutes of their daily life into their health is completely different. So, like I said, one of I would say there are 4 pillars to FitKit succeeding with respect to personalization. All right. And one of that pillar is, like I told you, training our staff to first understand what each individual needs and precisely delivering that. And I can assure you, it's not a boring program. You will see boxing, you will see dance, you'll have yoga, you're going to have meditation, you're going to have strength training. So somebody can walk into the gym and say, you know what, today I don't want to use my mind. I just want to come there for 30 minutes and just dance it out. They can. But you know what's going to happen at the end of it? They're going to go back with a dopamine rush. They're going to feel better. They're going to have a good cold shower after that. They're going to eat healthy and they're going to go to bed happy. So it doesn't matter if someone comes and says, I'm feeling motivated today, I want to crush my goals, they go to strength training and they can do it. So that's when I say personalization means that we're able to cater to everyone's mind who comes into the gym. All right. So, how everyone's clothing is different, everyone requires a different input to get the healthy output. Coming to excellence. Now, whether it is me or whether it's my wife, we both emphasize that our coaches on the floor stick to their stream of expertise. And we expect excellence from each and every staff member. If you see our staff members working with us, they've been working 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, like that. Our students have been coming to us for personal training for 7 to 8 years now, and it's my 10th year. The reason for that is we ensure we understand there's always going to be a churn of students, there are always going to be a churn of staff members. But if someone comes in as a coach, we understand what is their level and educate them to what it needs to be. So we're always pursuing excellence and we always stick to what we know and we say what we don't know, and guide them in the right direction. So where they need help, we give them the help. And the excellence factor, like I always tell somebody, it doesn't matter if you know 1,000 workouts or you know 10 workouts. Someone even knows one workout, he can deliver that in millions of ways, right? So excellence, quality is something I always value more than quantity. Coming to why Fitkits may, I mean, what owning Fitkits gym franchise so attractive. Again, I spoke about the technology of adding superimposing any trend onto the fundamentals. Second is highly trained professional staff. Like I told you, we ensure that each staff member gets 300 hours of training. So even if we're getting a franchise, we're going to handhold them into training their staff, how to pick up phone calls, how to listen to people, how to engage people and get them to come to a trial class. From there on, what a coach has to do in order to take the assessment and the trials correctly, and then onboarding the student to the best program possible and reducing the churn rate. The most important thing for a gym is reducing the churn rate. So as long as you are doing justice and quality, the churn rate will automatically be less. Even if other gyms come in, it would be very hard for them to break the brand loyalty, because once people get used to a particular brand, say a Nike shoe, even if they buy an Adidas, there is a lot of times they will come back to a Nike because they recognize themselves with that brand. They make a community within that brand, and they communicate within that brand. Again, most of our students, the low churn rate shows how much satisfaction we're able to bring into the students, because everyone becomes a friend, eventually a fit kids, fit family member. So they're able. So it's not just that they come in, they're bringing their kids, they're bringing their. In fact, we have so many people bringing their parents in who are 60 plus, and they tell us let them just be here. We're comfortable sending our parents here with the driver. So that is happening right now. Again, at the gym, we ensure both the staff, the facility, and the students are taken in a well disciplined way, ensuring hygiene and safety. Again, I think I've spoken about personalization, and of course, coming to the plans in India, we first want to touch Tamil Nadu, Chennai, where we're planning for 5 units of FitKits over the next 12 months. Again, coming to the franchise model, the business model flow. Again, there are multiple models for the franchise. One is a single unit, one is a multiple unit, and one is a master unit. Um, Sandeep, are you waiting for me? So, the kind of model I would generally suggest to one of our franchise owners is a 7,000 to 8,000 square feet gym with a turf. Because I can tell you, one is selling a gym membership, two is building a community around a gym. So, you need to bring in footfall into the gym. If you have a space, say for example, a cafe or a turf or even a badminton court, you're always going to have footfall into your gym. The way I look at it, at our current gym in Adyar, we even give Wi-Fi to the parents who are coming and sitting for their kids' classes. So what happens is, if you actually look at an evening session, there is a footfall every hour of 100 to 150 people churning in and out of the gym who are coming for classes and parents and sitting over there. So eventually, what happens is the high footfall rate will turn into your customers. And I would say the 7 to 8,000 square feet gym space with a community space. It could be a turf, it could be a badminton court with our cafe. Believe me, that is going to be able to pull in more number of people sitting inside your facility, and it would be around 1 to 1.5 crores for you to set up this kind of a facility with a 24-month payback for 5 years. Next. Again, if you look at our customer base in Adyar, specifically, most of them have a professional background or they run their own companies. So they're very highly educated, and that's one of the reasons why we have such a high retainership rate, because most of them are educated, they trust in the quality of knowledge, and China is a very high knowledgeable population who are highly educated. And it's very important for us to always talk the right information at the right time. People in Chennai, I feel, though they are health conscious, they're still discovering the gym, and it has exponentially increased over the last 3 years, especially after COVID. After COVID, the number of people coming into the gym for lifestyle diseases, I would say, is about 60%, and 40% of people are coming to look good. So, going in the coming of years, I can assure you that more people are going to be coming into the gym to get their basic health correct. When I say basic, to remove obesity, though people are health conscious, I would tell people there's no point going for a walk and then going to Saranabound for a dosa and tea and then going back home. Now people have understood walking alone on the road is not going to help them. Doctors who initially would tell people just go for a walk have told people you need vigorous exercise. Walking is not going to cut it. So people are health conscious and they understand, just like any other profession. You call an engineer to build a building. You go to a doctor to solve a health problem. You need to go to a professional to get your health in order. It could be a nutritionist for your nutrition. It could be a coach for your gym. So as things go by, and I also feel with so much importance given on social media going forward, people are going to listen to only expert advice, and social media itself is going through a huge transition, and there is going to be a lot of regulations in the kind of people, because some anybody who eats healthy says to follow them. All these things are going to go away, and people are going to come into a more professional setup to get their knowledge. And as people get more conscious about getting their knowledge from experts, the people coming to the gym are going to exponentially increase. Coming to sports person, again, we rent out our gym to a lot of sports teams like Madurai Panthers in Chennai. We cater to training them, especially with their nutrition. For sports people, they're anyway motivated to work out very, very hard. They're okay to work out even 4 to 6 hours a day. But where they see the most amount of results is their recovery and their nutrition. At Fitkits, we have ice baths, we have our nutritionist guiding them. So, understanding how much their body can take. Training for a sports person is very easy. Getting them to optimize their training is the tough part. So, we also do that. Again, coming to weight loss and weight gain seekers. Now, if you look at most of the population will walk into a gym realistically for weight loss, because most people, if you actually look at, they are overeating and they have zero recovery. The second they touch the bed, they're on their phone for screen time. Only when their brain is tired, they fall asleep. So getting people into the right, the weight loss customer is 9 out of 10 customers. And how to achieve this is, I would say, in our gym right now in Adyar, maybe out of 300 students, probably 200 to 250 people are just there for weight loss. Maybe another 50 is probably there for daily health. So again, weight loss customers are going to be your number one target audience. And again, or maybe also the wedding industry is a good customer as well. Could we switch? Again, coming to the expansion strategy, uh, when we are looking at our customer, if I look at the best type of person to run our franchisee, I would say somebody who has very good people skills, because we can do everything from the back end with respect to quality, quantitatively, and sustainability. But the kind of person that we need to help us expand is a people friendly person, because whichever person is taking up the franchisee, they need somebody from their side who's a people person and ensure there is never a communication breakdown in that process. We have three different prototypes in order to get that, and we have 7 to 8 locations which we have uh, narrowed down for Chennai. If you take Adyar, for example, where we exist, again, it's a highly professional population, doctors, lawyers, a lot of builders, and IT professionals. If you go to Ananagar, it's like a mini city by itself, right? So, Ananagar people, for example, would be able to complete, it would completely cater to that population. Hardly do they leave Ananagar and come out. It's like a self sustainable society by itself. Alwarpet, I would say, is more of a new money place. where most of people are, you would see a lot of individual houses compared to the rest of the city and a high end population. Nungambakam, again, it's the heart of Chennai. I think it's one of the older parts of Chennai, which is highly developed. OMR is a newer part of Chennai. Again, Kilpok has a highly business population compared to the rest of Chennai. And once we're done with Chennai, we would like to move into, I would say, Bangalore and Hyderabad first. We never want to be a model where we have 25, 30 units. We want to have bigger units which cover maybe 3 to 5 kilometers in radius. If you're good, people will make that extra 1 kilometer for that. And we would just like to cover the city in such a way that anyone who's willing to get fit can come to our gym. We definitely don't want to be a complete volume model. We want to be able to integrate all of our franchise owners as part of us. We are never going to look at our franchise owners as separate. We want to be able to integrate all of them into the system. One of the things I think F45 did wrong in Chennai is that each franchise owner was fighting with each other. They never helped each other. To be honest, for the kind of branding that they had, for find a pedigree from coming out of India, and they could have done a much better job in Chennai. But today, from I think from 43 units from when they started in 2016, they're down to maybe 7 or 8 in India. So that's something that we would like to see the other person and course correct. We will always have one maybe Facebook or an Instagram page where everybody contributes to that and we work as one team, and we will always ensure that all of our partners are integrated part of the company and just an extended arm of the company. Again, looking at the kind of places that we want to do, uh, it is obviously going to be in metros areas. We're going to have it if possible. I'm not sure if it's in Delhi or Bombay. Definitely look into malls and things like that. And also maybe hopefully we could also integrate it with different builders. Next. Again, why do you have to choose? What is our USP to Fitkits? Like I told you, we believe in the 4 pillars of health, which is your mind, which is your exercise, which is your nutrition, and making it consistent over a longer period of time. Again, we would not be able to be here for 10 years, it's almost a decade, if we did not do these 4 things correctly. Again, I would say the potential for every gym is very, very high for the kind of services that we do. And since we have an in-house training system, it does not matter. Like a lot of gyms are not able to succeed because a franchise owner has to keep, if they don't have the knowledge of fitness, it's very tough for them to train their coaches. They can always send the coaches to us. We are happy to train them and send them back. We will definitely have a certain amount of time. Say, for example, once we have decided to engage with the franchise owner, start the process of hiring the coaches and the team early. That investment that the franchise owner is going to do is going to give sustainability to the business. We have very strong contracts that we have developed over the last 10 years, which will help the contract the franchise owner, even if somebody wants to leave their job, ensure that they're doing it in a much, much smoother way. And believe me, interacting with our support staff in the franchise, that is something that every franchise owner will be trained to do so that their franchise unit will always run smoothly. Believe me, that's why we make or break a franchise, because like I said, everything is systemized in terms of knowledge. It just has to be delivered like a recipe. It is your staff who's the pain point, where they are the ones who are going to be interacting with the customers on a daily basis along with the franchise owner. So making them people friendly is very important for the franchise to succeed. Coming to daily assistance, we will always have a channel that is open. So my wife will ensure that she communicates with each and every franchise owner every day. If it's in Chennai, both of us in rotation will visit the franchises through the week, have a pep talk with the team, see where things are going, good, needs to be improved, things that are going wrong. If something is being done well, to improve that. It does not even matter if the franchise is outside India, even if it's pan India. Me and my wife will definitely make trips to different franchisees in rotation in order to get that done, because it is there is no way that uh, any franchise owner will be left alone to fend for themselves. We will definitely work with them on a daily basis, just like how this seminar is happening. I think technology can connect all of us together in a better way. That is something my wife will directly be handling with all of our franchise people in terms of the operations, and she will go through with them point by point and iron out any and all issues that they might find. Even say, for example, say if someone is opening a franchise in Hyderabad and they require something that is specific to their gym, we will be open to investing in that. Like I said, the cotton fabric is the same for any type of cotton cloth, irrespective of the style. So once we understand the fundamentals, and if it's really necessary for us to bring that differentiation or bring that kind of a product to the floor in a particular occasion, we are definitely open to listening to that and vice versa. And again, looking at the 10 years itself, it's not a new brand that we have pumped in money and we're trying to come back and tell people, you know what, we're doing such a big turnover. I think for any brand, I think Franchise India, I think anybody, like you said, 25 years of Franchise India and the starting, it shows that you have done something to be here for 25 years, right? In the same way, we have done something to be here for a decade. We have done something right, and that is the philosophy that we're pushing forward. There are always going to be trends, there are always going to be people who come and go, there are always going to be market disruptors. But I think more than anything, our sustainability over the last 10 years is our, I would say, our main USP, and you could trust the 10 years more than anything. Next. Again, coming to our ideal partner profile, like I said, we would require somebody more than anything, people to be there who's a people person, right? Again, when one thing that I would like to uh, have a good discussion about, whoever decides to take the franchisee, to understand that people are not attacking us with their problems. We need to understand from a service perspective what are the pain points and solve that one on one. A new entrepreneur full of energy is one type of customer that we look at. But again, if it's a new entrepreneur, they need to probably learn how to be in the service industry, because being in a back end kind of work and facing the customer one on one is completely different. Again, coming to an industry expert, say for example, someone wants to be part of the Fitkits brand, who's a coach for a certain number of years or has been training for a certain number of years, wants to take up the brand because we've made up all the modules. Again, I think that person would be very ideal for Fitkits. So it'll be easy for us to train the technical knowledge part of it. But ideally, if they're an entrepreneur along with industry experience, that's obviously going to help. Again, the third type of customer is going to be a businessman with connections. Again, if they're a businessman who has a very good network in the city, we are very happy to partner with them. We will also handhold them in hiring the right kind of staff, because we cannot expect a businessman to come and sit in that business 24/7. As a business that has been there for 10 years, we will help them hire the right kind of staff so we can tap into the network that they have. There are many gyms like that run. I would say most of the gyms in the country run like that. There is a very good businessman. They take a trainer from some gym and they run the facility. So I think a combination of these three is what would make uh, the FitKits model succeed. So where it doesn't matter whether it's one, two, or three in terms of the partner profile, we will help close the gap. Again, coming to support and training, like I told earlier, every staff member that is going to be onboarded for support, It could be from social media, it could be sales, it could be the training, it could be any type of support, including performance coaching. Every gym has to have a mental coach. We will train them from day one. I would also like to inform all the people involved in this process that it would take a minimum of 300 hours to train a staff. It doesn't matter which stream they are going to be supporting, the brand or the franchise. It would take 300 hours to train any staff in this. With respect to the financials and the coaching, I will be taking care of it. With respect to operations, nutrition, and the mental coaching part of it, my wife will take care of it. Next.
So, thank you,
Are
Mr.
there any
Shriri, for a
questions?
detailed presentation, and we have some queries which are waiting. So, can you please talk about the financials a bit? What would be the investment and how they are going to achieve their payback period? What would be the payback period, etc.
So the payback period, if would be 18 months. Someone would be
And
in, it'd
what
be
is the initial
investing
investment as well?
1.5 crores. 1.5 crores would be the initial investment. This includes your rental deposit, the equipment you will be buying for the gym, along with your interiors.
Okay. So, do you have your existing vendors who will be supporting them to set up the interiors, or if somebody has their own interior designers, they can also do the same based on the specific which you give them?
They can do the same with the brand template, but what we as a brand would like to have is a uniformity throughout all of our places. With respect to how the place has to look, our interior design person will design the space. So they are free to use a contractor, not free to use an interior design person per se. So the template for a particular location will be given from our side. With respect to vendors, that is, say we are choosing a particular flooring, if they have a vendor who can give it at a better cost, everything will still go through Fitkits. Everything will still go through Fitkits, and we can take it from that vendor, but everything will be funneled through Fitkits for maximum transparency.
Okay. So we have another query where somebody is asking, if they have their own space available without a rooftop thing. So is this still a good fitment for your requirement?
Yes,
Okay. So exactly what will the full rooftop space cater to?
the rooftop will be catering to a cafe along with a pickleball court.
Okay. Without that, also somebody can open the space if he doesn't
That's
have a
not a
room.
problem. The cafe will be integrated within the indoor space,
So
and
that
we will,
cafe we are talking about, that cafe you're talking about, is this something which is integrated about the nutrition of the
yes,
people who are coming in?
yes. The reason for that is everyone has to spend some amount of money in marketing. When you have a cafe space, what happens is that itself becomes a point of sale for your marketing for your nutrition services.
Hmm. Okay. So
Did I
is
answer
this
that
also?
correctly, or is there any doubt in that?
I just received another query. So, since you're talking about a integrated cafe, so does it mean that everybody would be given a nutrition plan from the very beginning, and all their nutrition will be monitored throughout the session, which they will be taking care of?
So they have to pay for their nutrition services.
Hmm.
So the four services are divided. That is your gym services, they have to pay for. Nutrition services, they will have to pay for. Your food services, they will have to pay for, along with using the facility. Like if
Right.
there is a say for example a turf or not, everything is paid for. It's not free.
So
Have I answered
average
that correct?
pricing. Yes. So may I also ask what would be the average pricing, or rather a ticket size for a person who is coming to your gym?
Okay. So the basic ticket size for 3 months starts at around 10,620. Hello?
Come again, please. Basic pricing is
The basic pricing is 10,620
okay.
and 29,500.
Okay.
So if it is a class where everyone is doing the same type of workout, it's around
Okay.
10,000 for 3 months. If it's a customized class, which is where 60% of our customers enroll, that comes up to 29,500, including GST,
Okay.
both of which cannot be separated. And if it's a
So that's a
consultation, nutrition consultation, we charge 1,500 for the 20-minute session.
okay.
If they're going in for a diet chart, it would be around 5,000. And if they're going in for a WhatsApp support per month, it's around 7,000.
Okay.
So
Okay.
every meal will be tracked on WhatsApp. So they will be sharing images, for example, of what they're eating. And our nutritionist will be guiding them through the portion control and what they're eating and should not eat. And if they're taking a meal delivery service from us, the basic cost for a month comes up to, if it's non-veg, around 28,000. If it's veg, around 25,000 for 3 meals,
Okay.
100 grams of protein in that meal.
So that's a great business opportunity, well explained by Mr. Shiri Shivraj for the brand Fitkits. And if you have any if you want to have one-on discussion, connect our hotline, and you can also write us at feedback@franchiseindia.in. We will again come back to you tomorrow with a new business opportunity. Stay tuned for the same. Thank you all.